Unity. Yeah. One body, one mind. One mind, one spirit. One spirit, one mind. Gotta make the world feel it. One body, one mind. One mind, one spirit. One spirit, one mind. Gotta make the world feel it. One body, one mind. One mind, one spirit. One spirit, one mind. Gotta make the world feel it. Feel it. Gotta make the world feel it. Feel it. Yeah. Gotta make the world feel it.
One body, one mind.
Let's make it real plain. Do the blacks, the Hispanics, and Native Americans today, do they lend out any resources, whether it's money for a house, food, or anything? Do we lend anything? Do we have to borrow everything? So something's wrong. We ain't the blessed people. Something happened. The coin has flipped on us. But why? That's why we come out here to teach our people. We're not blessed right now. We're not blessed and highly favored, as they love to say in the church right now. We are cursed right now. Now watch this. 28:15.
Deuteronomy 28, verse 15.
Bring it out.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God,
And we didn't listen to what God said, read.
to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day,
And what would happen?
that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
He said all these curses were going to come upon the nation of Israel and overtake us, like he was saying. They will pursue us, right? Now we got to get real specific on the curses, right? First, give me verse 47, verse 6.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 46. And thou shalt, and they,
the curses, read.
shall be upon you for a sign.
They're going to be upon our people for a sign. We are a cursed people. A sign like that McDonald's sign or that Denny sign will let you know something. It let you indicate something, right? The curses of the Israelites was going to be for a sign, read.
And for a wonder.
It's going to make you wonder, like, why can't the Native American Indians ever get their own land that they've been here for since the beginning of everybody else? Why can't the Mexicans have their own property and they were here first? This was actually Mexico before it became Texas. Why do the blacks keep getting shot in the streets and there's never any justice? Everybody walks around, I can't breathe, no justice, no peace. When you wonder why that happens, right, read?
And upon thy seed forever.
That's the heaviest part. He said them curses are going to be upon you and your seed forever. Meaning these are generational curses. So even back in slavery we were cursed. To this day we're still cursed. Because we broke God's commandments as a nation of people. So let's get curses. Because I can just say that word and keep it moving. But what are the curses? God is real specific. Go to verse 32. Read.
Verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
God said his sons and your sons and your daughters will be given unto another people. In slavery for the blacks, right? That happened, right? Another nation came over and they started taking the kids, separating the parents, right? This happened. It's a historical fact. Did that happen to the Native Americans? Have you heard of boarding schools? Didn't they come over here and they started shaving your hairs off, making you shave your face, making you learn English? They was taking them from their parents off the reservations and off the land and making you learn their Christian doctrines to serve this white image of Jesus. That's what they did. Your sons and your daughters will be given to another people. And to this day, if you're a so-called Mexican, right? What's happening at the borders of Texas at this moment right now by ICE and detention centers? Aren't these people given to another people? Read on.
Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people. And thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long.
And you're going to sit there and fail and cry all the day long. Why? Read.
And there shall be no might in thine hand.
Because you have no power to get your kids back. We've never had the power to get our kids back. Never. These kids in Mexico has an army, they still can't get the kids out of the cages. You have no power. You have no economic might. Everybody wants to do money and all this stuff that doesn't work. We have no education to get lawyers, to get people out. We have no might to get our kids out. Read on.
Verse 33.
Read.
The fruit of thy land and all thy labors shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up.
You notice how God keeps saying another nation that you don't know is going to take your resources, your land, is going to eat up your food.
shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up, and thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed always.
You're gonna always be oppressed and crushed.
Right.
That's a curse from God.
Right.
Why? Who can tell me why God cursed us?
We didn't follow the commandments.
He didn't follow the commandments. It's that simple.
That's right.
Go up to verse 31. Read.
Verse 31. Thine ox shall be slain before thine eyes.
Your ox shall be slain before your eye. You know, like the buffalo?
Right.
Have you seen the images where these so-called white men would have mountains of buffalo bones? They hunted them for sport.
Right.
Your people were doing what? They were using it for resources, food, and clothing, right?
Right.
What did they do? They just hunted them, threw the bones over there, and just kept it moving.
Right.
And you know what? There was nothing you could do about it. It was a curse from God. Read.
Deuteronomy 28 verse 31. Thine ox shall be slain before thine eyes, and thou shalt not eat thereof. Thine ass shall be violently taken away from before thy face, and shall not be restored to thee. Thy sheep shall be given unto thine enemies.
All your stocks will be taken from you. Everything you have will be taken from you. Even when we tried to build during the Reconstruction era after slavery and all that, what was happening to our people? We were being stripped of all of our resources because it's a generational curse.
Right.
Why? Because we broke God's commandments.
Bring it out.
Give me verse 48 real quick. Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee.
That's the heaviest part. God is the one that sent the enemies. We don't come out here blaming the white man or the Chinese man and all that. We know who sent these people against us. It was God.
Right.
Why? Because we broke his commandments.
Right.
It was that easy to figure out. We broke God's commandments, so he said, I'm going to jack y'all up. And he's been jacking us up for generations.
Right.
It's very easy, right? Read.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee.
So we're going to have to serve our enemies who God was going to send against us. How would we have to serve them? Read.
In hunger.
If you wanted food, you got to go to your enemies to get that. To this day, we have to go to our enemies to get that.
Right.
We don't own H-E-B, Walmart, and all these other stores,
Right.
do we? The other nations outside of the blacks and Hispanics and Native Americans own that.
Right.
That's why we have to go to them for generation after generation.
Right.
You understand? We don't.
And in thirst.
And thirst, if you want water bill, anything, you go to another nation, read.
And in nakedness. And in want of all things.
Doesn't matter what it is, if you want it, you must go to another nation to get it, read.
Right. And
he, this nation, read.
shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
He shall do what?
Shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
So who put yokes of iron upon the blacks
Bring it up.
and the Hispanics next? I want to know. They got yokes of iron on us. They were killing us with the sword. They were hanging us up, the Native Indians and the Taino Indians and all that. In slavery, they was doing that to the blacks, right? They said he gonna do that. Until when? Until when? Read.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck, until he hath destroyed thee.
And now we are destroyed. We don't even know that we're Israel anymore.
Right.
We're so destroyed that they took off the chains and now we fight to keep ourselves oppressed.
Bring it up.
We don't even want to acknowledge that Christ was a black man. It doesn't matter.
Bring it up.
It doesn't matter. If it don't matter, then why change the original image?
Right.
Because Christ is a black man according to the Bible. The Jews are black according to the Bible. Native American Indians were black. We got books about black Indians, bro. You were raped by your oppressor. Your people have raped you and they changed all our melanin, bro.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? This oppression covers us all. But why did it happen? We always got to remember, why did that happen? Why did all that happen to us? We didn't follow the commandments. All praises.
Right.
So guess what the solution should be? Start keeping the commandments. All praises. So now we're going to find out. Do you agree or disagree, my bro? You agree? Okay, well watch this. Let me get 1 Corinthians 11:7. Drop these. Let me show y'all something. This is what it's all about. We're not just coming out here highlighting the problem. We're going to give you the solution. Because if you don't have a solution, all we're doing is just bringing awareness to a problem that pretty much everybody on this earth is aware of already. This group of people is already jacked up. What? Yeah, no, whatever. 11:3, whatever it is. Watch this. So we know that Christ is a black Messiah. We know that he came to save the nation of Israel out of his own mouth. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right? Read.
1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ.
That the head of every man is Christ. Every man out here, your head is Christ. Read.
And the head of the woman is the man.
And the head of the woman is the man, right? There's an order, read.
And the head of Christ is God.
And the head of Christ is God. So guess what you got? God, man, woman, children. It's all in order. There's nothing 50. Christ is not 50-50 with the Most High God. We're not 50-50 with Christ. The women's not 50-50 with the man. The kids aren't 50-50 with the women. This ain't real hard to figure out. So God gives us the understanding of how to deal with one another with that understanding. Read.
Verse 4. Every man praying or prophesying, having his head covered, dishonoreth his head.
So the first thing you got to understand, if you notice all the brothers out here that are out here teaching right now, we're out in the spirit of prophecy. We're talking about Christ. We're going over the testimony of the Lord. If you're around that, and we're going over the scriptures, you're learning, you are in the spirit of prophecy. Or if you're at home and you're praying, you're in the spirit of praying, right? Any man that's out there praying or prophesying, or in the spirit of that, having their head covered, they dishonor their head, which is Christ. So what must you do to show that you're trying to repent to the Most High? What would you do? Uncover your head, that's it. Would you do it for the Most High since you know about these curses?
No.
All praise to the Most High. That's not a hard move to think. Hold that real quick, give me 1 John where it says these laws ain't hard. One of the things our people don't understand is keeping God's laws aren't hard. Now I'm gonna show you a law for our sisters. We're gonna see where the spirit is at. Because it's a hard one. It's a hard one for them to understand. Well, watch this. Read this verse.
1 John chapter 5 verse 3. For this is the love of God.
So you love God? You love God? You love God. You love God? You don't know him yet? You still learning him. Hey, be honest, bro. That's all praises for that. You love God? All right. So if we walk around and we say we love God, and that's what we do, then guess what? Read.
For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments.
That we keep his commandments. It's an action word. It's not saying I love you. You got to do what he say, right? Read.
And his commandments are not grievous.
And his commandments ain't hard. His commandments are not hard. His law, statutes, and commandments are not hard for us to do. You saw that. I took my hat off. We take our hat off all the time, bro. There's all kind of laws. We're not supposed to shave, all kind of things. Well, I'll show you that in a second, right? But watch this. Get me the law spiritual. Because I'm going to show you something. They Deuteronomy 22:5. Watch this. You got to understand something. God's laws, they got a spirit behind them. They got a spirit behind them. They do more than just what they're telling you. That right there shows humility, humbleness, right? That you don't think yourself above the Most High, right? Now watch this, read.
Romans chapter 7 verse 14. For we know that the law is spiritual.
We know that God's laws are spiritual. When you apply God's laws, you get a spirit upon you. Or if you break God's laws, you get a different kind of spirit on you, right? Now watch this. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 22 verse 5. Bring it out. Yeah, give me that.
Deuteronomy chapter 22 verse 5. The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment. For all that do so are abomination unto the Lord thy God.
So let's examine what that verse is really talking about. This ain't hard. Watch this, bro. I want you to watch this whole situation. Watch this. Read it. Read it again from the top.
Verse 5.
Right.
The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man.
So women should wear what men are supposed to wear, right? Read.
Neither shall a man put on a woman's garment.
So a man shouldn't wear a woman's garment, right? So what does a woman wear that men shouldn't wear? We'll make it easy for you. If you didn't know how to read, where would you go in the bathroom? The dress. All right, let's see. Let's make it real plain. I'm up here. We all speaking boldly, burly men with beards.
Right.
Coming out the Bible, telling our people to repent, going over the curses.
Right.
But let's say I got on a skirt and a push-up bra and 6-inch heels.
Teach y'all.
Are you going to take me serious? No, because guess what? You know that's strange. God knows that's strange. It is strange to see a man in high heels and a dress on, claiming it's a man's dress. That doesn't make any sense. It makes absolutely no sense. And because we know the laws are spiritual, when we break them laws, guess what starts to happen? I start to act effeminate. My hand starts doing all this. I start trying to walk harder than a woman, right? You start doing other things, you start seeing that brother in. You start snapping his neck harder than a sister. Because the laws are spiritual. Well, guess what? If it applies to the man, don't you think it's going to apply to the woman?
That's right.
Ain't it going to apply to the woman? Read it again from the top.
Deuteronomy chapter 22, verse 5. The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man.
So what do women wear that men wear that they shouldn't be wearing? Pants. And boy, when I tell you, that puts a spirit on our sisters. Because now they're independent. Who wears the pants in this house? Man, you understand? It's a different spirit on you. When in the order it says God, Christ, man, God, Christ, man, then woman. But when you wear pants, no, it's God, it's Christ, then it's men and women together. That's out of order. And it comes out of problem. And that's where you start to see where the real spirit is at. So what you really should be doing, sisters, doing what? You should have a dress on at all times. Hey, all praises, sister. If you got one in the car, all praises. If you got a dress, put it on. Why? Because that right there shows repentance. Give me this. Give me that in Corinthians. Godly sorrow will work in repentance. When you understand who you are, when you start keeping God's laws, you know what? But why she gets that, hold that for a second. I'm going to show y'all something. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 4.
Bring it out.
Give me Deuteronomy 4. Let me tell y'all something about these laws. These laws are spiritual. These laws are powerful. These laws is what makes us the greatest nation on earth. But the flip side is if we don't keep God's laws, guess what happens? We become the worst nation on the earth. We become destroyed. But watch this. Read that. Deuteronomy 4, verse start at 5. Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 5. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my God commanded me.
That's the first heavy point. What did what did Moses teach the Israelites in the wilderness? Read it again.
Verse 5. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments.
Stop. Read it again.
Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments.
He said, I taught you the laws and the judgments for breaking those laws. I'm going to read it again. Go ahead.
Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments.
Did he teach us Christianity? Read.
Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments.
Behold, I have taught you what? Statutes and judgments. All praises for this sister. Hey, give this sister a round of applause.
That's right.
Hey, give this sister a round of applause. All praise to the Most High God, sis. All praise to the Most High God. Sis. And you know what? You halfway there. Let me show you something else about what you got on right now. And you're going to appreciate this, my bro, seeing that you're a so-called Native American or actually from tribe of Gad. Watch this. Give me Numbers, chapter 15, verse 33. 38, I mean. When you look at like Pocahontas and stuff like that, what do they always have on their garments? They had fringes on their garments, right? The Native Indians always had fringes, usually had that turquoise blue around it and stuff, right? Why is that? Is that something that y'all just made up on your own? Or were you actually the people of the book? The Israelites. You never know how the so-called Mexicans, they were actually Aztec Indians, you had the Mayans and things like that. What were they building on this side of the earth? What kind of pyramids, temples? Where would they get the understanding on building pyramids at? When we was in Egypt building for Pharaoh. It wasn't aliens, y'all. It wasn't slavery. We worked as Hebrew slaves in Egypt. And guess what? We took that same understanding and came on this side of the earth and we was building temples and pyramids. It's not a mystery. It's all in our history, bro. It's all in our history. Now watch this. We showed you that image right there. Give me this. Where did those fringes come from? Why these brothers got fringes on their clothes? Are we just doing it because they look good? Because it's the new drip? Is that why we're doing that? Watch this. Read.
Numbers chapter 15, verse 38. Speak unto the children of Israel.
So who is God saying to speak to? The children of Israel. Read.
And bid them.
Means command them. Read.
That they make them fringes in the borders of their garments.
That you make fringes in the borders of your garments. But maybe that was back then. Read.
Throughout their generation.
Whoa. For how long?
Throughout their generation.
So how long should we be wearing fringes? Forever. Because we're still generating. It ain't hard to understand. Y'all hearing the words. I'm telling y'all, these laws ain't hard. They're not hard. People be like, there's 613 laws. Oh my God. There's over 20,000 gun laws in this country alone. Are any of y'all breaking those laws right now? Okay then. So how is it hard to keep these basic laws to make us the greatest nation on the earth? It's not hard, bro. It's really not hard. Read on.
that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments throughout their generations, and that they put upon the fringe of the borders a ribbon of blue.
That they put on that fringe a ribbon of blue. And you'll notice that, especially like I told you with the Pocahontas, and we got lots of images, bro. They would have the blue border with the fringes on there because they're keeping God's law.
That's right.
That was part of their heritage. They was keeping that. Read on. But why?
Verse 39. And it shall be unto you for a fringe, that ye may look upon it.
We must be able to look upon these fringes. Read.
And remember all the commandments of the Lord and do them.
That you remember all of God's commandments and do them. You must do God's commandments. That's the purpose of the fringes. So if I'm about to go out, today's a new moon, it's a Sabbath day. We're not supposed to buy and sell on this particular day. Okay? Now I know I got on fringes. Should I be going into Denny's right now to get some food? Should I be going over here to McDonald's or go to this gas station and purchase something? No, because I would be breaking the law, but that's what the fringes are doing. And if my brothers are around me, they see that and they know I got to defend it. But hey, bro, you know, it's a Sabbath day. You know what we got there buying right now. What you doing? Wait till the sun go down. That's what the fringes will do for you, right? Give me Zephaniah 1 and 8. Give me Zephaniah 1 and 8. God gave us a dress code.
That's right.
God gave us a law. If you don't keep God's laws, what happens?
Bring it on.
You get punished, right?
Zephaniah chapter 1 verse 8. And it shall come to pass in the day of the Lord's sacrifice.
You gotta understand something. When they say Christ come back, you know what they say? It's gonna be the Lord's sacrifice. Meaning the whole earth is gonna be a murder scene. Christ is going to come back and judge this earth with fire.
We used to scream black power while Heron was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. Iuic has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission, minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, from Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are how men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. Iuic, we deliver the truth.